Okay, hi guys, welcome to our live event in London. So we're here at the Multi-Comfort Visitor Centre and we're going to give you a tour around. So we're just on Great Portland Street at the minute, just on the corner of Langham Street. So why don't you follow me inside and we'll give you a tour. Okay, so hopefully a bit quieter in here. So just by way of introduction, so my name is Richard Halderthay and my role is Director of Brand and Communications at Saint-Gobain here in the UK. So I'm really glad you've joined us for this this live event. I'm going to introduce you to a couple of colleagues in a minute, but before I do that, I just wanted to mention we will have the opportunity to have questions during the live event. So all you have to do is, if you have a question at any time, just pop your question in the comments, and I'm helped by Emily here, who's going to give me a nod when there are some questions. Also, we will be having a competition. Okay, so the T's and C's for the competition, they're on Facebook. So you just need to have a look for those and read through. They'll tell you how you can enter. But there will be a question later on, and you know, it's pretty easy to enter. So we'll just be asking you to put your answer to the question in the comments with the hashtag SGLiveJourney. That's all okay. Okay, right. So before we start the tour, when you come into the Multi-Comfort Visitor Centre, there's a couple of colleagues here that you'll meet. So Lena over here, also Sabrina manages the centre here as well. So they will give you a great welcome, I'm sure. So what is the centre all about? So it's called the Multi-Comfort Visitor Centre. So Multi-Comfort is a building concept by Saint-Gobain that is all about how we design and build buildings to improve people's health and well-being. And what we're going to do is just talk you through how you can learn about that in the visitor centre. Okay, so there's lots of interactive stuff here. It's open during the week, so you can come in and explore this and learn more about Multi-Comfort during your visit. So I don't think I've forgotten anything. Let's get on, and I'll start to talk you through some of the things that we've got at the centre. Now, the first thing, this is really cool. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to use virtual reality before. So if you haven't, for no other reason, it's a good chance to just come along and have a play around with virtual reality. And the purpose of this is kind of to immerse you into multi-comfort concept and how it enhances health and well-being in buildings using technology. So I'm going to put this on and I'm going to try and tell you a bit about what I can see. But you should be able to watch some of this on the screen as well if we get this right. Okay, so here I go. Okay, so in the kitchen here. So if I look at some of the if I look at some of the little prompts in front of me, we'll be able to get some information here about the indoor air quality, so about how we can control moisture in buildings. There's something on the hob over there. I hope I'm not too near to the camera with my hand, sorry. You can't help but have a look around when you play on one of these. So we're going to go through this door over here. Okay, whereabouts are we now? Okay, so we've got a choice. You can go into the kitchen, which I think is where we've just been, or into the hospital. Okay, so the hospital bed. We can learn about acoustic comfort. So we can learn about how the multi-comfort concept really considers how to protect those using the building from noise. And in a hospital setting, that can really help rest and recovery. We can also learn about indoor air quality and how we can have products and solutions that take some of the impurities out of the air. Again, you can imagine really important in a hospital setting. So you can see it's actually a really cool thing to have a play around with, and it's just amazingly real. It's like you're here now. So I've no idea what I've looked like during that, but hopefully that gives you a reasonable insight into that tool and how you can play around with that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at is the topic of thermal comfort. So this is one aspect of multi-comfort, and it's all about how we can keep really the same indoor air temperature throughout the year through using different products from across Saint-Gobain. So as with the centre generally, we've got some things that you can play around with. So here we're looking at glass. So these are products from Glass Solutions, and they're looking at two different settings. So imagine this is the sun, this is a pane of a glass in your home. So actually, on the inside of the house, that's warm. So it's showing you about how this particular product can keep the heat from the sun inside the building. This one, so it's a similar kind of setup, the sun applying the heat to the outside, but actually it's cool on the inside. So again, showing you how that particular product from Glass Solutions can have different properties in terms of residential and commercial buildings. So I think these are products from the Planetherm range, from Saint-Gobain Glass. Obviously we have things like insulation from Celotex and glass wool, which is really about how we can ensure that the building is thermally efficient. So that's really cool. This is Sage Glass. So if you do come here, I really recommend you have a bit of a play around with this. So this is about really smart glass and how we can have different tints on the glass that can really have a big difference depending upon where the sun is. So you can see, same pane of glass, we've got it set in two different ways there. We've got some render as well there from Weber. So we're going to move on to probably one of my favourite aspects of the things that you can play around with here. And I'm going to talk about the topic of visual comfort. So you can see there's some information on each of these panels about the different aspects of comfort, and this is all about visual appearance. And it looks at a variety of different products. Magnetic plaster from British Gypsum. This is about this is really looking at render that you can have on the outside of properties. You can see it's in the shape of a Land Rover, and it's really just saying that you have any kind of colour on the building, and a really nice and natural product from International Timber. But this is really cool. So I don't know if you can see this. You probably can't see the Land Rover now. Can you see the Land Rover, Jonathan?
No.
No? Okay. So hopefully you can see it now.
That's right.
So this is Privalite from Glass Solutions, and it's really cool products. From opaque to translucent, so that's really really funky. Okay, now we're going to talk about indoor air comfort. So we mentioned this when we were in the hospital earlier on the virtual reality, and this part of multi-comfort talks about really indoor air quality and how we should design buildings, think about product choices in terms of how they can enhance indoor air quality. And what we have here is a few products again that you can consider from Saint-Gobain Group. Some like the Active Air from British Gypsum that can extract VOCs from the atmosphere and trap them within the products, making them in things like formaldehyde, for example, and then products from the group that emit no VOCs. So that kind of covers that aspect, and then we move on to the last area, which is about noise. So it's about how do we protect people in buildings from the noise inside, maybe if you've got kids or you've got noisy neighbours, or you live in apartments, but also how you can protect yourself from the noise outside if you live on a busy road, for example. And it's looking at different products from across the group that can really help with the topic of noise. So we have a cast iron soil system from PAM, and what you can do is you can play around here, and this kind of shows you the difference using cast iron to conventional UPVC pipe work, and the difference something like flushing the toilet can make. So I'm going to try this, hopefully this works. Okay, cast iron first. Okay, flushing the toilet, and UPVC. So you can really notice the difference, actually. That's really noticeable. There's something else you can play around with sound, is not going to work. So this is live, so that's not going to work. Okay, so maybe that's a good time to remind you about questions, because you could ask, why did that not work, for example. Anyway, don't forget, we'll be going to some questions shortly, and also a reminder that we will be asking you a competition question later on. T's and C's are on Facebook, and I forgot to mention the prize, actually. So the prize is a voucher for Udemy, so an online training voucher where you can, I don't know, have a look at and take loads of different professional courses. So we will be coming back to the question, and maybe somebody might help me by seeing if this DV station works, because this is really cool, and it's something that you all at home watching can download from the App Store. So that's really good. So what else do we have here? Fantastic product from Ecofon, which can really manage noise and help with noise inside buildings. And also, it's really just talking about the importance of your building envelope in terms of managing noise, and considering what products you can have across the building envelope to help manage noise from the outside. Okay, other things you can find out here, and you can find out all of this at multicomfort.co.uk. There's lots of case studies here of multi-comfort construction and case studies. There is actually, I didn't mention it down there, but there is actually a model of the Bartholomew's Barn, which is a school building in Worcester that is the first multi-comfort building in the UK. And you can find out loads of details, including watching time-lapse videos and things on multicomfort.co.uk. Evidence, opinion. So it's also really a hub for discussion about the topic of health and well-being in buildings. So you'll see lots of discussions on building design from experts from within Saint-Gobain and others. So I saw this earlier, and I was going to use this as a prompt to remind you of something. So Jonathan, maybe you can get a little bit closer here, because I wanted to talk to you about tomorrow and Thursday. So we have two other live events going on. The first one will be tomorrow, 12:30, through Facebook, and Tom Cox, who's our Habitat R&D manager, will be meeting Tom at one of our sites, and he will be telling you about his job, what he does in his day job. So I wanted to use that as a reminder. And then on Thursday at 12:30 through YouTube and not Facebook, we have a really interesting live event which is being hosted by Natalie Harvey, who's our Head of Learning and Development at Saint-Gobain. And there's a panel of 4 others, and Natalie's going to really have a discussion about how Saint-Gobain approaches the topic of learning and development, and how we encourage and help colleagues to manage their professional and personal development throughout their careers at Saint-Gobain. And I know our Chief Executive, Mark Rayfield, from our building distribution businesses, is joining that as well. So that'll be really one to watch out for on Thursday on YouTube. Okay, so that was really helpful. That was a helpful prompt. And finally, the website here, so you can just have a browse through the website, look at some of the articles that are going on, look at some of the multi-comfort projects. So you could do that here, or obviously at any time through multicomfort.co.uk.
So we've had some hellos from all over the world.
Okay, cool.
Zara in Saint-Gobain, Turkey, and somebody in India as well.
Okay, great. Hello, everybody.
So then we've had some questions as well. Jeremy Elvins is very impressed with the Privilite
okay, yeah.
which he's never seen before.
Yeah, that is really cool. That's the one over there where we looked at the Land Rover and it went from opaque to translucent. Yeah, really cool.
Katie McKinnon has asked, can anyone come and visit the Multi-Comfort Centre?
Okay, good question, Katie. Thank you for that. Yes, anyone can come and visit the Multi-Comfort Centre. It's open Monday to Friday, normal kind of office hours. We have a huge range of events that take place here at the centre with organisations that we are linked with. Really, any organisation linked to the built environment may well have events, training, networking discussions here. Absolutely, you can walk in off the street if you want to learn about the topic of health, well-being in buildings and how to enhance them. So good question, Katie. Hopefully that answers that. Any others you want to flag up at this stage, Emily?
Yeah, so Felix or Felice says, what is your favourite material and why?
Hello, was it Felix or Felice? Okay, my favourite material in the building is actually, I kind of just skimmed over it, and it doesn't, I guess you may say it doesn't look much, but it's actually the Ecofon panels. You can have them printed to look like anything. We used to have a massive one downstairs, which was had been printed with a London tube map, and the effect that an impact they have in a room to manage noise is just incredible. In fact, we had an event last week, and the building that we're in, the Manufacturing Technology Centre near to Coventry, had an auditorium with Ecofon panels in. And considering the size of it, you didn't need to use microphones. It was really audible everywhere. It's a really terrific product. I love the fact that you can jazz it up, have it different colours or printed. So I really like that one. So hopefully that answers that question. But let us know what your favourite product is that you've seen from here as well, Felix.
Fabienne is asking, what do you think the Saint-Gobain of tomorrow will look like?
Wow.
Big question.
Okay, big question, Fabienne. So I'm going to park that one for a minute, if I may, Fabienne. I'm going to come back to that at the end, because I just want to show you one other thing, and then I will come back to pick up that question and maybe any others that have come up. So I guess you've got maybe 5 minutes or so before we go to any final questions. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you is something we launched quite recently, which is a Saint-Gobain frame system. So you can see there's information here. It is a pre-panelised structural steel frame system, which is completely load-bearing external and internal wall panels. So we actually do this in partnership with a fantastic company, Halderthay Steel Frame, who we've worked with for some time, and it's comes in open or closed panel, and we've got a bit of a mock-up of it here, and it's a great example of how products from across the Saint-Gobain group working together produce really high-performing solutions for the built environment. So you can see how this steel frame here, and we have the Celotex external wall insulation, then we have Esover glass wall in the steel frame itself, and then if you come round this side, we have British gypsum products, and then the magnetic plaster that's skimmed over the top, which, if you haven't seen, is really fantastic. I was just checking on here to make sure that somebody hadn't been funny maybe and put some made up some words on there. I can think of some people who may have done that, but thank you, Emily, for not doing that. So it's a great product. You can paint it, and we have another example downstairs, and it's great instead of blue tack or pins or something like that in the wall. Okay, and I think we have another example just around the corner here. So it's kind of showing the same kind of thing with slips on the outside, which are available from a juicing business in loads of different colours and so on. And again, it shows you how different products from across the group are used to construct this system, which actually has a warranty, you can see. So has a product performance warranty of 12 years, and the steel frame has structural warranty of 60 years. So it's really, really terrific. Now, that's kind of a really quick run through as to what you see on the ground floor here. There is also a downstairs, but I suggest, for the purpose of safety, if nothing else, that we don't try and walk down the stairs while Jonathan's holding the camera and I'm talking. So there's some meeting rooms, some other products that you can see down there, and there's some colleagues using that just at the moment, actually. So I won't take you down there. That's something you're going to have to come and find out more about yourself. So we are going to go to some final questions, I guess. Now we've maybe got a few minutes to pick up some questions, and then we will do the competition. Okay.
So we've had more hellos from all over the world, including Brazil and Poland.
Wow.
So if them a little
Hello,
shout
Brazil
out.
and Poland. What time of day is it in Brazil today, right now?
Who knows? Early.
Early morning.
Is it early morning? Good morning.
And we've had a lot of love for the magnetic plaster. So
Yeah.
Magdalena, Jeremy Alvins and Christopher Barrows are all loving the
Yeah,
magnetic plaster.
yeah, really cool.
So
And there's another little example just over here. I mean, there's a big one there, but another one there. It's a really cool product, yeah.
And we've had a question via private message. So Matt Wright says, has the multi-comfort concept been used in an actual application?
It has, yeah, it has. I mentioned it very briefly, but you can see there is a model here of the Bartholomew Barn, which is the first multi-comfort building in the UK. It's in Worcester, and it is a multi-use a sports hall, changing area, and I think it was last year that the building was finished. You can read loads about it online. You can look at very specific details as to how it was made. There's lots of work now around performance monitoring as well to really understand how that building is performing, and there are others planned. So we have a number of other multi-comfort buildings that are planned. So this will be one of many. But yeah, thank you for the question.
Rogerio Lopez has confirmed it is indeed morning.
Is it? Early morning, he says, wide-eyed. Okay, so we haven't picked up Fabian's question either, I think. So what will the Saint-Gobain of tomorrow be? Well, I guess it's worth thinking about the things that are really important to Saint-Gobain to consider that. So people, you know, the well-being of people, of our colleagues, the importance of development within the business. So it's going to be based on of people with passions for customers, with a passion for the materials that we create. It's going to be an innovative one. You know, construction is changing dramatically, and other markets that Saint-Gobain serves are changing dramatically. So innovation is going to play an important part, and it's going to be multi-dimensional and collaborative, I guess, because we can achieve so much more when we collaborate and work with others. So that's my view, Fabian. But why don't you let us know your views through the comments as well, because it's an interesting topic for us to talk about.
So we've had a few more questions that we
Okay.
may not have time to pick up. So
Okay.
we'll try and address as many of those online.
Yeah,
afterwards.
we will do. We will look at all the questions now, and we will make sure that we respond to those quickly. And if you have any other ones, you can always use the hashtag SG Live Journey, which reminds me about the competition. So now time for the competition questions. So we've talked a couple of times. Here's the question coming. Okay, so get ready now. So the question is, we've talked a couple of times about multi-comfort. We've talked about the first multi-comfort building in the UK, and it's a barn. But what's the name of the barn? Okay, I have mentioned it certainly twice. So what's the name of the barn? Not too worried about spelling, so don't let that put you off. If you put it in the comments of this feed, and the video will be on our Facebook obviously afterwards, use the hashtag SG Live Journey, because this event is part of a first, really, of a series of worldwide open events to learn more about Saint-Gobain right across the globe. So post your answer with the hashtag SG Live Journey in the comments, and you got till midnight. So till midnight today, and then we'll announce a winner out of those who got it right. So that's the competition done. The final thing I guess I want to say is just a reminder about Wednesday, a reminder about Thursday. We have another live event going out on Facebook at 12:30 tomorrow with Tom Cox, our R&D manager, and will be one of our British gypsum manufacturing sites in the Midlands. And then finally on Thursdays, a live chat on YouTube this time with Natalie Harvey, our Head of Learning and Development, and some other colleagues who are going to tell you some really interesting tales of how their career's been developed within Saint-Gobain. So all I need to do is just thank you for joining us for the first live event. I hope you've enjoyed it. We still don't have an answer to the question as to why that DB station doesn't work, but maybe we'll post that in the comments afterwards with a link to where you can download it on the App Store. Other than that, thanks for joining. Thanks for all the questions. and have a lovely morning, day, evening, wherever you're tuning in from.